Welcome to The Explainer. I'm so glad you're joining me today. We are zeroing in on an absolutely critical skill for anyone moving money around in real estate: mastering property lien searches right here in Multnomah County, Oregon. Let's get you exactly what you need to navigate these bureaucratic databases and, more importantly, protect your investments from some pretty devastating surprises. Okay, picture this. You just closed on your absolute dream home. Or, maybe it's a super promising commercial investment. You finally get the keys, you walk through the front door, and boom, you get a notice in the mail. Turns out the previous owner left behind an uncorrected nuisance violation with the city, or maybe a string of unpaid property taxes. And because you didn't check the right databases beforehand, you are now on the hook for a massive, rapidly escalating debt. It happens way more often than you'd think, and honestly, it can completely wipe out your investment. So, to make sure that never, ever happens to you, here is our roadmap for today. 1. Understanding property liens. 2. The risks of hidden property liens. 3. Multnomah County online resources. 4. A step-by-step online search guide. And 5. Resolving discovered liens. All right, Section 1. Understanding property liens. What exactly are they? Basically, a lien is a legal claim or an encumbrance recorded against a specific piece of property. It usually represents an unpaid debt, a tax, or the cost of some local improvement. And here's the absolute most important takeaway for any buyer in Oregon: liens attach to the property itself, not the person who owned it. That means if a property is sold and the lien isn't paid off, that debt transfers directly to you, the new buyer. You buy the house, you buy the debt. Period. Now, in Multnomah County and the city of Portland, these encumbrances can come from all over the place. You've got local improvement districts, nuisance abatements, and code enforcement fees. Then there's sewer connections, delinquent property taxes, judicial civil judgments, and even child support arrears that are enforced by the state. The sheer variety here is exactly why doing just a single quick search is almost never enough. Moving right along to Section 2, the risks of hidden property liens. Let's look at the severe financial math. Let's talk about property taxes first. When county property taxes become delinquent, they don't just sit there frozen. They actually carry an interest rate of 1.3333% per month. And if you do the math, that is a staggering penalty of roughly 16% annualized. That balance is going to balloon incredibly fast, literally eating away at your property equity month after month. And it's definitely not just taxes. Say a property has an open municipal lien from the city of Portland, like a nuisance abatement or a code hearing. Well, that carries a fixed 12% annual interest rate. Plus, if it sits unpaid after 60 days, additional non-compliance penalties start piling up against the principal balance. The financial bleeding is severe. But here is where it gets truly dangerous. Under Portland City Code and Oregon law, city municipal liens occupy what's called a super priority status. This means they actually jump the line and supersede almost all other liens, even a primary bank mortgage. And the city won't subordinate its first priority position. So this poses a massive, massive risk, not just to you as the buyer, but to your lender as well. Let's jump to Section 3, Multnomah County online resources. This is how we unlock the property history. So Multnomah County offers two primary free tools, both hosted by the Division of Assessment, Recording, and Taxation, or DART for short. First, you have Multco PropTax, which is where you'll go to view real-time tax assessment and payment history ledgers. Then you have Multco Records, which is the public index for official recorded instruments, things like deeds, mortgages, and private construction liens. You really need to be using both of these. But hey, remember those super priority city liens we just talked about? A standard county search might completely miss them. The city of Portland tracks its municipal liens and infrastructure obligations through an electronic docket called Conduits. It's operated by Net Asset Corporation, and this platform requires a $33 fee per property search. Honestly, because of the fee in the setup process, if you're only doing one-time or infrequent transactions, the city actually recommends just hiring a local title company to run this specific check for you. All right, Section 4, Step-by-Step Online Search Guide. Here is your practical how-to guide. First up, to check for those 16% interest tax liens, you're going to head over to multcoproptax.com. You don't even need a paid account. Just click on the free guest login. Pop in the property ID or the physical address. Once you're in there, you want to really closely review the tax payment history ledgers. And keep in mind, in Oregon, personal and real property taxes automatically become a statutory lien on July 1st of every single fiscal year.
Next, if you're hunting for civil judgments, homeowners association liens, or private construction liens, you'll go to multcorecords.com. Here, you're going to search by party name or by the recording date. The search results will show you the document number and type totally for free. But a quick heads up, if you actually want to see the images of the recorded documents to, read the fine print, you will need to add them to the online shopping cart, pay the required county fee, and download the digital copies. Let's look at this timeline to see how this all builds, because time is seriously of the essence with real property taxes. The assessment happens on January 1st. By July 1st, those taxes become a lien. If they stay unpaid, they become officially delinquent on May 16th of the following year. And here is the real kicker. Just 3 years from that earliest delinquency date, the property becomes subject to county tax foreclosure. That is how insanely fast a neglected bill escalates to losing the entire property.
Which brings us to Section 5, Resolving Discovered Liens. Let's talk about clearing the title. Ultimately, your goal is to get a satisfaction of lien officially recorded. This is the magic document that formally clears the property's public record once a debt is finally paid off. And it's incredibly important to note that for private construction mechanics liens, Oregon law actually requires the claimant to record this satisfaction within 10 to 30 days of receiving full payment. If they drop the ball and fail to do so, the property owner can actually hold them liable for financial damages because the title remained clouded.
So if you do find an active lien, you've got a few strategies. The most direct route? Just pay the balance in full immediately. For city code liens, you can sometimes negotiate a special payment plan with the Revenue Division to at least stop those late penalties. If you're looking at refinancing, you might request a lien subordination. This lets a new lender take priority without actually removing the tax lien. If a child support lien pops up, your title or escrow officer will need to verify the active case directly with the Department of Justice to get a payoff statement. And as always, consulting a real estate attorney is a very smart move.
Oh, and I want to inject a quick, fairly urgent warning straight from the Oregon Department of Revenue sources. If you have an unresolved state tax debt over $50,000, the state is fully authorized to publicly publish your name, your city of residence, and the exact amount you owe right on their delinquent taxpayer list. So the stakes of ignoring these obligations go way beyond just a clouded property title. Things can become very public very fast. All of this brings us back to the core question. Are you checking all the right databases to truly protect your next property investment? As we saw from our earlier nightmare scenario about moving into a dream home with a massive hidden nuisance violation, relying on just one single county website is never going to be enough. You need the full picture. If you found this walkthrough valuable, hit that subscribe button for more focused real estate insights, share this explainer with folks in the industry, and drop any questions you have down in the comments below.
Finally, just a quick disclaimer before we wrap. This explainer is designed to provide general guidelines and educational information based on Multnomah County and Oregon state sources. It absolutely does not serve as legal or financial advice. Since property laws are highly complex, you should always consult with qualified real estate attorneys or professional title companies for any formal title remediation. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and stay focused out there.